What's up guys, my name's Brandon, and as expected, Apple just released the GM build of iOS 14 to both registered developers and to public beta testers about a week after Beta 8. And if you don't know what GM is, it stands for Golden Master, and it's just simply the final version released early to beta testers. Now iOS 14 will be released to the public tomorrow, so if you do install the GM build, you will not be getting the prompt to update to iOS 14 with everybody else tomorrow unless the build number has changed, which is not very likely. Now, if you do not want to receive beta updates anymore and you don't want to update to the GM build, all you need to do is simply go into your settings, go to General, scroll down to Profile, go to the iOS 14 beta profile, and just simply remove the profile from your device. Then you will no longer get any more betas, and you will only get the official releases when you go to the software update section of your phone. But just keep in mind that there are more betas to go for iOS 14. Just because iOS 14 released does not mean there will not be more betas, because we will probably be seeing an iOS 14.1 beta pretty soon. So anyways, in this video, we're going to be discussing the GM build of iOS 14 here and seeing if anything is new or changed in this update. And then tomorrow, when the final version of iOS 14 gets released, my What's New video will contain a recap of all of the new features in iOS 14 that I covered throughout my beta coverage here on YouTube. So that will be the long video. This is going to be the shorter video, just talking about the final things before the official release and just anything new in this GM build. And also at the end of this video, I will also recap the September Apple event that took place earlier today, which I did live stream here on YouTube. So shout out to you if you were in that live stream, but I will do a quick recap of that event at the end of this video as well. But anyways, taking a look at the size of this update, you can see here the GM build came in at 4.79 gigabytes on my iPhone 11 Pro. And of course, since it is a Golden Master copy, it will be at least 4 gigabytes on your device as expected. And then you do get all of the release notes for iOS 14 as well. And if we head over to settings, general about, let's check out the build number here for the GM build of iOS 14. It's 18A373. And once again, we can expect that build number to be the same as the final public release that comes out tomorrow to everybody who's not on the beta program. And then scrolling down a little bit, you can see that the modem firmware is still unchanged in the GM build. So we probably won't see any updates to the modem firmware until 14.1. But anyway, since we now know that this is technically the same build as beta 8, just without the debugging and the feedback app and things like that, that means that there's not going to be anything changed here in the GM build. And I did also look around the software and I did not see anything changed at all, which is expected for a final release before the final public release. So don't expect to find any new features or changes. Also, if we go into the settings and then go to privacy and then to tracking, you will notice that this is still grayed out. That has been delayed again because of the whole issue with Facebook complaining about it and, affecting their advertising and things like that. So that is one thing you will note is still not working, and that is intended. Apple has delayed this feature for the time being, but everything else is going to be exactly the same as it was in beta 8, although the performance could be improved here in the GM or the final release. In fact, it should be improved since we don't have, the feedback application, the debugging going on and things like that. So if we go to the Geekbench scores right here, you will see I did run a Geekbench score earlier, and I scored a 1339 in the single core versus a 1309 on beta 8. And a 3491 in the multi-core versus a 3407. And if you look down the line, you can see that the single core score is the highest of any of these scores on here dating back to July. So that is a very good sign here for iOS 14 in terms of the performance, and that's expected. I mean, it is the final release now. You can expect performance improvements, and also we should see some battery life improvements now as well, although it has been, just a couple of hours since I've had this installed, so it is too early to tell on the battery life. But I would expect both performance and battery life improvements. I would also expect some enhancements to the widgets, and that's probably going to continue throughout iOS 14, not just 14.0. So there probably will still be some bugs in 14.0 even after the official release, but I would expect Apple to address those in 14, like point updates, like 14.0.1, 14.1, and so on. But really, there's not too much else to talk about with this GM build. So let's move on to the schedule. So iOS 14 being released to everybody tomorrow, September 16th. You can expect that around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like Apple always does. We also will be seeing watchOS 7, iPadOS 14, and also tvOS 14 as well tomorrow. Now we could also see iOS 14.1 Beta 1 start tomorrow as well. So that would be the earliest. Of course, we may not see it tomorrow, but Apple does usually like to start the beta process pretty quickly after releasing an official release. So be on the lookout for that. Stay tuned for that. I will inform you guys on Twitter, of course, if we do see a 14.1 Beta 1. And now let's do a quick recap of the new products that Apple announced today at their September event. So the first thing, and the thing I'm most excited for, is the all new redesigned iPad Air 4th generation. So this thing looks awesome. So we do have the A14 chip, so it's going to be 40% faster. It also has USB-C. And as you can see from the screen, there's no more bezels. So we don't have bezels. It's not quite as edge to edge as the iPad Pro, but you will notice that we have no home button and the reduced bezels right there. So we don't have Face ID, which is going to throw a lot of people off because you would think if there's no home button, of course we have to have Face ID, right? Well, no. Actually, Apple has implemented Touch ID into the top power button, which is just awesome. And I didn't see this coming. I know there were some leaks about this, but I just didn't see it happening, and it actually did. So that's pretty cool. We do also have new colors for this iPad Air 4th generation. So we have a new sky blue color, a new green color, and now we have rose gold as well on the iPad Air. And this device starts at $599 and it will be available next month. We also saw the Apple Watch Series 6 get announced, and this has the new blood oxygen sensor, which we all predicted. And it takes about 15 seconds to complete and is going to be a big deal for health and the Apple Watch. We also have the new S6 processor, which is based on Apple's A13 chip, so it will be faster and hopefully get better battery life as well. It also has a 2.5 times brighter display without using more battery, which is great. That was one of the big complaints I had with pretty much every Apple Watch, is that it just simply did not get bright enough. We also get two new watch colors. So we have the navy blue and also product red. So both of these are in aluminum, and you can see here they look really cool. I do like the navy blue better. Red just seems like a little too much for me. It's a little too bright for me, but navy blue looks awesome. And we do also have a solo loop band now with these new watches, and it's basically just one big piece of silicone, and you have to kind of measure out your wrist with a piece of paper you download from Apple's website before you order it, and choose your wrist size so that it can fit snug on your wrist. So the Series 6 starts at $399 and it's up for pre-order right now, and it will be shipping starting on Friday. Now, along with the Series 6, Apple also announced a cheaper Apple Watch called the Apple Watch SE. So this is very similar to the Series 5 Apple Watch without the premium features like ECG, the always-on display, the U1 chip, and of course the blood oxygen sensor. So aside from those, it's pretty similar to the Series 5. You could still track your heart rate, you could still do fitness stuff, you could still, track location and things like that. And I think this is going to be great for parents to get for their kids, especially at the starting price of just $279. I think this is going to be a great way for parents to monitor their kids' health and also keep an eye on their location. And then finally, Apple also announced the iPad 10.2. So this is the 8th generation iPad, and this is the boring one. It has the same design as the 7th gen, just with a spec bump with the A12 chip, which is going to make it 40% faster in the CPU department and 2 times faster in GPU performance. And then Apple did also announce Apple Fitness Plus, which is a great program for fitness. And we also saw the announcement of Apple One, which is the services bundle for a set price. So that's pretty interesting. I will have links to all of that stuff down in the description below. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for iOS 14 GM and also the Apple event that took place today. I will see you guys tomorrow for my official iOS 14 What's New video. That will be the long one going over all the new features and changes in this update. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss my future videos. But anyways, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.